10 US cities. Overflowing with Filipinos in 2025, you might be living in one. From coast to coast, Filipino communities are booming, and not quietly. In 2025, they're growing faster than ever, bringing soul, flavor, and a deep sense of home to cities across the US. But where exactly is this Pinoy power showing up the most? Well, buckle up, because today, we're counting down 10 US cities that are overflowing with Filipino pride. Cities where the air smells like adobo, the parties never stop, and Bayanihan is more than just a word. It's a way of life. Whether you're scouting your next move or just wondering if your city made the list, trust me, what we're about to uncover will surprise you. Stay locked in, because this isn't just about numbers. These cities are alive with Pinoy energy. Ever walk through a neighborhood and suddenly think, wait, am I in the US, or did I just teleport to Manila? That's no accident. We're not talking about a few families moving in here and there. We're talking full-on transformations, quiet suburbs turned into bustling barangays, urban blocks reborn as vibrant mini-Manilas. Now picture this, the sizzle of sisig wafting through the air, colorful murals of jeepneys splashed on walls, and titas giggling over Halo like it's a Sunday in Quezon City. Feels familiar, right? That's because across America, a cultural wave is rising, and it's loud, proud, and unapologetically Filipino. But what's driving this surge? Why now? Why these cities? And which one is so Filipino, you'd swear you were back home? Stick around, especially if you're Filipino or just love our food, our warmth, and our karaoke obsession, because the #1 city on this list. You won't believe just how Pinoy it's become. New here? Mabuhay! You're officially part of the Inside Report fam. Hit that subscribe button. And if you're already part of the crew, smash that like. It helps the algorithm and gets more people on this journey with us. Let's start with Chicago. You're walking through the windy city. The breeze hits you just right, and then, boom. That smell. Lumpia. Fresh, crispy, fried lumpia. You turn the corner, and there it is. Jollibee. The line's wrapped around the block like it's Coachella. Welcome to Filipino-America. Chicago edition. Yes, Chicago's known for deep dish pizza, jazz, and that icy lakefront wind. But what many don't realize, it's also home to one of the biggest Filipino communities in the US, over 110,000 strong. And their impact, undeniable. Ask anyone who's lived here for a while and mention Filipino, you'll likely hear one word: nurses. It all started back in the late 60s when the US opened its doors to skilled workers. That kicked off a wave of compassionate, hard-working Filipino healthcare professionals. Chicago. It welcomed them with open arms. Today, walk into almost any hospital here, and chances are a Filipino nurse will be taking care of you. Calm, focused, kind. But Filipino Chicago isn't just scrubs and stethoscopes. It's alive. It's loud, in the best way possible. Ever been to Fiesta Pinoy? It's a full-blown fiesta. Barong-clad dancers, endless karaoke battles, where your Tito swears he's the next Bruno Mars, and food so good it'll make you cry. Seriously. October hits, and Filipino-American History Month turns the whole city into a cultural celebration. Parades, food festivals, storytelling nights. It's a vibrant tribute to generations keeping the culture burning bright. So yes, this is still Chicago, but listen closely and you'll hear the rhythm of Tagalog bouncing down the street, the smell of garlic rice, the feeling of community that makes this city feel like home. Are you in Chicago? Got family in the area? Let us know in the comments. And hey, don't go anywhere, because the next city on this list, it's turning SoCal into So Pinoy. Next stop, Riverside, San Bernardino, California. Close your eyes. Hear that? The crackle of tocino on a hot pan. Smell that warm, pandesal. Hear the laughter from a group of kababayans belting "Bakit Pa" in front of a packed Filipino grill. Nope, you're not in Manila. You're in Riverside, San Bernardino, where being Filipino isn't just normal, it's everywhere. With over 116,000 Filipinos living here, it's like someone dropped a slice of the Philippines right into Southern California. But why not LA? Why not San Diego? Why Riverside? Meet Rika. She's 32, straight from Quezon City. Came to Cali chasing two dreams: build a better future and stay rooted in her culture. At first, LA was chaos. Rent was sky high. Everything felt off. That warmth she missed, it just wasn't there. Then she found Riverside. Within weeks, she was working at a hospital where lunch breaks were Tagalog chats and potlucks were packed with sinigang, pancit, and lechon. Her neighbors? Filipinos. Her weekends? Karaoke and lucian. She didn't just find a job, she found family. And she's not alone. Thousands of Filipino nurses, engineers, small business owners. They're turning Riverside into something special. Every weekend, Seafood City is packed. Moms arguing over the freshest bangus, kids begging for chocnut, restaurants sizzling with sisig and halo-halo, parks turning into full-on Pinoy festivals, LBC centers stacked high with balikbayan boxes bursting with goodies and love. What makes Riverside a Filipino haven? It's simple: affordable homes, growing careers, and best of all, community. That moment when a stranger says, "Kumusta?" and you instantly feel at home. That's Riverside, a place where the American dream and Filipino tradition meet. And trust me, this story, it's just heating up. Next, we're flying north. Rain, coffee, and a whole lot of Filipino soul. Welcome to Seattle, the city of constant drizzle, artisan coffee, and one of the most powerful Filipino communities in the US. Nearly 126,000 Filipinos now call Seattle home. And if you think this is new, think again. This city's connection to the Filipino spirit goes back generations. Walk through Beacon Hill and Tagalog floats through the air. Step into White Center and the smell of adobo welcomes you before the door even opens. Community events in South Seattle? You'll feel the Filipino warmth the second you step in. But this didn't happen overnight. Back in the 1920s, Filipinos came here with little more than a dream. Many worked brutal jobs in Alaskan canneries or Washington farms, laboring long hours for next to nothing. But they didn't quit. They built. They opened stores, built families, created communities. And over time, they turned Seattle into a second homeland. Fast forward to today, Filipinos are everywhere. Nurses, business owners, tech innovators, community organizers, each one writing a new chapter in Seattle's Pinoy story. Want proof? Let's talk about Lolo Ben. He came to Seattle in the 1970s. One suitcase, no money, no connections. He worked 3 jobs, slept on couches, sent every spare dollar back home. 10 years later, he opened a sari-sari store, then a restaurant, then another. Today, his family owns 3 businesses and continues his legacy. But the best part? Lolo Ben's story isn't rare. It's one of thousands. Sacrifice, hustle, pride. Seattle may be cloudy, but the Filipino spirit here shines bright. And we've only scratched the surface. Think about it. The flashing lights, billion-dollar casinos, the glitz, the glamour. But behind every sparkling chandelier and high-stakes poker table in Las Vegas, there's a force keeping it all running: Filipinos. From the front desks to the kitchens, from entertainers to managers, Filipinos are the heartbeat of this city. And once you start noticing it, you can't unsee it. Take Lisa, for example. She came to Vegas with nothing but a suitcase and a dream. No family here, no money. Fast forward a few years, she's managing operations in one of the busiest casinos on the Strip. That kind of hustle isn't rare. It's actually pretty common. Thousands of Filipinos are turning entry-level jobs into real careers in this city built on chance. But here's the twist. Las Vegas isn't just a tourist playground anymore. It's becoming one of the most Filipino cities in the US. Walk into some neighborhoods and you'll feel like you're back home. There are bakeries selling fresh pandesal, restaurants serving sinigang and lechon, and of course, weekend karaoke parties that go on way too long, because someone's always got to sing one more Whitney Houston song. It's a hidden Filipino stronghold, quietly growing as demand for hospitality and entertainment workers keeps rising. And as more Filipinos arrive, they're not just blending in. They're building community, culture, and influence. But here's where it gets interesting. There's one US city where Filipinos are growing in numbers, building wealth, and creating an entire ecosystem. And barely anyone's talking about it. You ready? Smash that like button and let's go deeper. Now imagine this. You close your eyes, and when you open them, you're surrounded by Jollibee signs, sari-sari stores, and titas arguing over the best brand of bangus. You're not in Manila. You're in San Diego, specifically National City. Over 200,000 Filipinos live here. That's not a neighborhood. That's an empire. Why San Diego? 2 words: the Navy. Filipinos have a deep-rooted history in the US Navy, and many settled here after their service. Just ask Tito Ben. He arrived in the 80s, joined the Navy, worked his way up, and brought his whole family over. Now, he's retired, runs a food truck called Sarap to the Bone, and is still undefeated at karaoke. And it's not just the Navy. Filipinos in San Diego are nurses, teachers, entrepreneurs, and everything in between, building stable lives and tight-knit communities. So tell me, where's the best Filipino food spot in San Diego? I know y'all have strong opinions. Drop it in the comments. Now let's switch gears. Imagine a place where the beaches are stunning, the breeze is warm, and the Filipino culture runs deep. You guessed it, Honolulu. Over 225,000 Filipinos call Hawaii home, and many live in neighborhoods like Waipahu, Iwa Beach, and Kalihi. Places where you'll see jeepney stickers on cars, smell adobo from the windows, and hear Tagalog mixed with Hawaiian pidgin. Ate Maridez moved here from Cebu in the late 90s for what was supposed to be a 1-year job. Fast forward, she's running a successful restaurant, raising 3 kids, and still reminding her youngest not to mess with the adobo. Filipinos have been part of Hawaii's story for over a century, from sugar plantations to government offices. And today, they're one of the most visible and respected communities in the islands. The influence is everywhere, from the food to the festivals to the language. But if you think Filipinos are only thriving in the warm, sunny parts of America, think again. Because the next city, it's cold in the winter, it moves fast, and it smells like ambition. And street food. You know where I'm going. New York City. The Big Apple. It's loud, it's crowded, and it's home to one of the most passionate Filipino communities in the country. Queens, Brooklyn, Manhattan. There are Filipinos in every borough. But there's something special happening here. Despite the sky-high rent, the non-stop hustle, and the city's figure-it-out-yourself attitude, Filipinos are making it. You'll find them in hospitals, in fashion studios, on Wall Street, on Broadway, and behind the best oob desserts in town. There's even a growing number of Filipino creatives, filmmakers, photographers, tech founders, all planting flags in the cultural capital of the world. And just when you think we've hit the peak, we land in the city where so many Filipino dreams begin. Los Angeles. LA isn't just Filipino-friendly, It's practically Filipino-designed. Historic Filipino town, Carson, Eagle Rock, Panorama City. The Filipino presence here is massive. From community centers to art galleries to hip new restaurants, LA is where tradition meets reinvention. Want to experience tinikling with a West Coast twist? LA's got you. Want to eat halo halo after a beach day in Venice? Also LA. Filipinos in LA are changing the narrative. They're not just workers or newcomers. They're leaders, storytellers, and culture makers. And as second and third generation Filams step into new roles, the community here is only getting louder, prouder, and more powerful. So whether it's the Strip in Vegas, the shores of Honolulu, the shipyards of San Diego, the subways of New York, or the bright lights of LA, one thing's clear. Filipinos aren't just part of America's story. They're writing new chapters every day. Which city do you think deserves the title Most Filipino City in America? Let's talk about it in the comments. And if you're proud to be part of this wave, like, share, and follow for more stories that celebrate who we are and how far we've come.